Welcome to Follow Sport TV, a program presented by the Zimbabwe Theatre Academy, where we talk everything theatre in Zimbabwe, in the region and world over. And today, I've got a special guest on the program. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
So, would you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Clive Jonga. I'm an actor and a musician.
You've left the proverb.
Oh, yeah, that's the other name. Proverb Nesta I. That's what I use for stage, yeah.
Where did it come from?
Well, originally the name is Proverb I, which just means my proverbs. And then the Nest, people started likening my dreadlocks to those of Bob Marley. So that's it. That's where the Nesta came.
Okay. Proverb Nesta I.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is good. So I know we have interacted in the Zimbabwe Theatre Academy, where you came and did your one-year theatre training program. But before that, how did this creative journey start for you? Was it music, dance, poetry? Where did you start?
Well, it was a little bit of everything, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. From actually growing up, I was doing all kinds of artistic things, from singing, from acting. And then professionally, I think I started out in 2014 when I enrolled at Amakosi Theatre Academy in Bulawayo.
You went to Amakosi?
Yeah, I went to Amakosi.
Okay.
Under Content Flanga. And then I think, before that actually, we always engaged in very artistic programs at Zikwa Trust.
Zikwa Trust.
Yes. So I'd always been singing and directing and all sorts of things. Yeah.
Oh, so what were you doing at Amakosi?
At Amakosi, it was mainly performing arts. Mainly things to do with the stage. That's your theatre and music as well, and poetry. And at one point, I did stand-up comedy.
All right. You tried your stance.
That was the only stand-up show that I ever did. But it was good.
The first and the last.
The first and the last year. Yeah.
No, that's good. And what are some of I know also you've been working with Zikwa Trust.
Yeah.
Coming here at Reps Theatre to do other productions and all that stuff. So within the creative and culture industry, as a practitioner, where do you think you position yourself? Where you think you're more strongly? I know you've been doing all sorts of artistic.
I try to position myself wherever I feel like I'm strongly needed at the moment. But currently I've been more focused on music. Yeah, I haven't really neglected the other art forms, but yeah, I've been putting a lot of attention on music.
So what kind of music? Maybe for those that are watching, where can we find your music,
Well, I mainly focus on reggae music, roots reggae music. And my music is all over music streaming platforms.
Yes. If people want to check it out.
YouTube is Proverb Nesta I.
Okay.
Yes, it's Proverb Nesta I.
So what lessons, if there are any, that you pick from theatre and all these other forms that are informing your music now?
It's crazy how the art industry seems to have like common lessons throughout. When it comes to theatre, when it comes to music, when it comes to poetry, there's always some level of discipline that you have to you have to possess as an individual. You find that everywhere you go, whether it's music, whether it's poetry. So I think I've learned to really focus on one thing at a time. I know that sounds something else coming from someone who is doing music and theatre at all the same time. But I think you need that discipline, to really tell yourself that, at the time being, I'm focusing on this and I'm putting all my effort and all my attention on that, So that's discipline is kind of is important, and that's the greatest lesson I've learned.
And then also maybe vice versa, what have you learned in theatre that you're also using in these other art forms? I know you say that there's the intersection is very thin and close, but if there anything specific from theater that you've learnt and started using in your other professions and in life?
Yeah, I would say learning to be vulnerable, learning to give yourself completely, to really just be available to the space and let the art uses you. That's one thing that I've learned from theater, from physical theater actually, that I've actually applied to my music. I let the art form work through me. So I just let go and be vulnerable and let the art use you.
Jump in there.
You don't need to think how you're going to land. Just jump into there. Yeah.
And in case there is somebody out there who is watching right now and say, "Oh, Nesta Proverb I is doing music and theater and all these other forms." For somebody who wants to step into the world of acting, what would be some of your recommendations that you can share with them?
You need to let go. When you think about it and you think that this is the path that I want to take, then don't hold back. Don't hold back. Just dive in, swim in with the sharks and everything else. Yeah, be vulnerable. Yeah, that's the thing. You just need to let go of yourself and then.
And why do you think training is important? I know you've spoken about your training here at the Zimbabwe Theatre Academy. It's Zico Trust. I also see you're doing also some training. Why do you think training is important now within the creative and cultural industries?
Well, it's always important to be well-versed with the professionals. It is always important to get the right knowledge about whatever it is that you are willing to go into. In most cases, I've come across people who are, I don't know if it's the right term, half done, half baked. People who are doing things simply because they saw somebody doing it. And probably, if you see someone who's doing something and you just think that I'm just going to do it as well, he was probably not doing it the right way. I admire dance. And I've always said this, that if you see me trying to dance simply because I saw you dancing, then it means you were doing it wrong, But the moment I see professionals on stage, I come close to tears, And it is because they've gone through some level of training. They've gone through what they needed to go through to evoke the feeling that gets to me, that gets me close to tears, So
that in other words, they are vulnerable in this space.
It keeps coming. It keeps coming back. They're vulnerable to this space. They're letting go of themselves. These are some of the things that you just can't.
Wake up one day and I have. And
you wake up and you're like, I'm a physical theater artist. I can do this. So you need that level of. You need that training. That's what training is important, And even the discipline that I was talking about the other time, it comes with training. It comes with many hours of hard work and dedication. So it's really important. Yeah.
And what are some of the productions that you've participated in, maybe since you graduated from the Zimbabwe Theatre Academy, or maybe even before you came to the academy?
I've done quite a lot with Rex Theatre. Yeah, I was in Oliver, I was in Aladdin, Little Red Riding Hood. That was with Rex Theatre. And then I've also done some with Jason People Little Theatre. Yeah, quite a few there, actually. I've done most with Zico Trust. As well as Amakosi and Zimbabwe Theatre Academy as well. Yeah.
But also, how is Zico Trust assisting, young theatre makers or creatives in their own right?
Yeah, I would say that they're doing a great job to start with. They're really doing a great job in scouting out talent. Starting from the grassroots. You go there and you meet. people from primary schools, elementary schools who are doing poetry, who are performing on stage, So they've really been assisting in scouting our talent and giving young people the opportunity to express themselves, to even find careers in the arts, So that's what they've been doing.
No, that's great. And maybe as we round up this first episode with you, where do we see Clive or Proverb Nesta I in the coming few weeks, months, years? What are some of the things that you're planning?
Well, most definitely there's going to be more performances from Proverb Nesta I this year, hopefully at Mitambo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, I applied, so.
Okay. So go through the process and see. You're qualified,
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully there's going to be more performances from Proverb Nesta I, as well as theatrical performances.
And then maybe also my other question would be, looking at the theatre landscape or performing arts landscape in Zimbabwe, what would be your ideal environment that you'd want to see, maybe from players, from government, to say, wow, I think for us to thrive as theatre or musicians, I think if these things are in place, we can continue developing, growing our industries.
Would always start off with resources. I mean, that's one thing. But I would like to challenge more on the artist side rather than anyone else intervening. What are we doing for ourselves? That would be the first question for me. So if we take it from that perspective, what are we doing for ourselves? Where do we need to see ourselves in the next 3 to 5 years, right? And then if someone else is going to come in, they're coming in to add on to what we
already have.
Yeah. So I think that's the question that I would actually pose to the other artists.
What are your plans?
What are our plans?
No, I mean, that's great. Maybe as we conclude our Follow Sport episode with you, in case there are other things that we didn't ask you, or probably that you feel like, what, I need to share with the world, this is the opportunity.
Well, I share so much of myself on stage. So if you feel like there's something that I have left out, you should go and listen to my latest album. Actually, it's called Happy Place. Happy Place. Yes.
Do you have any one song that you could just lead us to your next album? If you are.
All right. Okay, I'll just sing a little bit from the title track, which is Happy Place.
Happy Place.
Yes. Wisdom is it, the truth you never heard. So you're really where you're meant to be. Sometimes you have to close your eyes to see. There's real beauty that's within. So go on and keep the smiley face. Let go of the empty petty chaser. Suit up and better up yourself. Put up some standards.
Please follow Proverb Nesta I on his channels, and also as we conclude this session, listen to one of his music that is just be playing now, that is just also produced. And thank you so much for watching Follow Sport TV, where we talk about everything theatre in Zimbabwe, in the region and world over. And Clive has been part of the Zimbabwe Theatre Academy training program as a theatre practitioner, but has spread his wings to music, to performance, to backstage. So thank you so much for watching, and follow us on the details that are appearing on your screen right now for other episodes that we have done before and those that will come in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for coming to the program.
Give thanks.
Thank you so much.